The moment of truth, right? We have a former champion in Jan Blachowicz, legendary Polish power, versus a true dark horse in Magomed Ankalaev. And before we get into it, AJ, just turn me down in the monitor just a little bit because you know I like to get hyped up, right? Things tend to get loud over here. But this is the point right here, man. You have a fantastic grappler in Jan Blachowicz with devastating power versus a little bit more of a tactician in Magomed Ankalaev, who's also a fantastic grappler in his own right. Now, the story for some might simply be power versus being technical, right? I find it a little hard to believe that this could go 5 rounds, man, with these two big boys throwing him. Even though Ankalaev can do well with a nice decision, it's not going to be a problem for him to win that way. I just see it as a little tough sledding. Do you agree? Do you see it a different way?
No, man. If this one makes it to a decision, I'd be very, very impressed with the calculation and the patience of these two gentlemen going forward, man. Because you said it, Polish power. It's been storied, it's been proven, it's been through the ringer. Polish power is here, and it's not going away for quite a while. But Magomed Ankalaev, if you think this guy doesn't have power, if you think this guy is only death by 1,000 touches, you got it wrong, man. Both these dudes have crazy pop on their shots. Both of them are very skilled all around. This has the potential, like you said, Derek, this has the potential to either be a banger of a fight, a knockout, or a very, very tactful fight. So would I be surprised? Not necessarily, because I can see both of these fighters not wanting to get hit, but also hitting each other, as well as just going in there for an absolute slugfest, man, and making this one a dogfight. I don't really know how it's going to be. Of these two ways, do you see either one happening or a third going in this one?
I see a knockout, man. I see that being really the only viable option here. A submission for like Blachowicz submitting Ankalaev, I find that a little bit of a stretch. I think he can do it. I think that's definitely on the table. But Ankalaev has some pretty fantastic takedown defense. This is the question that I really want to kind of discuss, ponder, I guess I should say. Now, Magomed Ankalaev, yes, AJ, I'll take the credit. I've been saying this dude's going to be, fighting for gold. He's a dark horse in the light heavyweight division. Is this the way that we really imagined him getting a shot to fight for the title, though, right? Really, the only reason these two are fighting for championship is because Glover Teixeira, you know what I mean? He loses to Yuri. Yuri blows out the shoulder, just dismantles it. He vacates. Glover doesn't want to fight. I think it was Ankalaev on short notice. So they're like, all right, well, we'll give it to Blachowicz. Ankalaev, you guys were supposed to fight anyways, but might as well make it for gold. The reason why I asked that, his last fight against Anthony Smith, I mean, you win, but did you really prove anything? Not necessarily. This dude Smith, his leg just kind of gave out, and that was the TKO finish right there. The fights before that, Thiago Santos decisioned him, Volkan Ozdemir decisioned him, Nikita Krylov decisioned him, Jan Kutalaba. We remember that, man. He knocked him out twice. So my question is, are you sold on Magomed Ankalaev? Yeah, he's here. It is what it is. He's fighting for it now. But are you sold on the journey that it took for him to fight a very, very established journeyman / former champion / real lethal threat in Jan Blachowicz?
It might not be the classic Cinderella story or the come up story that the UFC likes to paint, but I think it is the dark horse story that is Magomed Ankalaev, man. Be ready when the opportunity comes. We say it all the time, Derek. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I think that's the Magomed Ankalaev path that's going to be presented to him. Because am I buying into the hype? Am I buying into the storytelling? Not really, man. It doesn't seem like the story's fitting together, but sometimes that's when the actual puzzle pieces come together. And I mean, to lay it all out, I feel like Glover said it best, man. Hell no, I ain't fighting that guy. That guy is an absolute savage. I want a chance to win the championship, not lose to another young guy. And Ankalaev seems to be that going forward. Do you think this is a foolhardy move for Blachowicz coming into this one? Or do you think Blachowicz really genuinely believes himself? Because if you're looking at those odds, man, it seems like the odds makers are struggling a little bit right here.
Absolutely. Apologies on the graphic, folks. Of course, it should say minus 240 for Magomed Ankalaev. It just says 240. That's just my error right there. But either way, for Jan Blachowicz, plus 200, I don't think that's the most... I think it could be crazier, but I think that there's respect at this plus 200 line. The thing that confused me, plus 500 for the TKO. I don't really understand that. That's the one that puzzles me. So I do think the line is a little bit off here. I think Jan Blachowicz, all it takes is one with these big boys, and the complete trajectory of the fight can change. But AJ, let me bring up a point really quick. You remember a Cinderella story last week, Roman Dolidze, right? Stay ready so you don't got to get ready. You don't leave to Georgia because you were, you know what I mean? You stuck around and you got a short notice opportunity, and now you're a top 15 ranked fighter. Well, guess who is one of Roman Dolidze's direct training partners? It's Magomed Ankalaev. So this is a camp that I do believe stays ready. And I think that the trajectory of this fight truly playing out is going to come down to this, man. Who shoots first?
Ooh, good question. I think Ankalaev shoots first, man. I think he's the one's going to be a little more willing to stick to the game plan. I think Jan goes in there and kind of gets a little ego test, a little bravado ish. What do you think?
I actually disagree with you. I think Ankalaev is going to be the first to feint the takedowns, bunch of feints for his takedowns. I think Blachowicz will be the first to truly shoot. And I do think that Blachowicz, okay, here's my whole entire thing to kind of wrap this up in a nice little bow, right? Jan Blachowicz, the path to getting the takedown for Ankalaev is going to be much more difficult than him actually being on the ground, maybe taking the back and getting into a couple of those positions where he really utilizes his jiu-jitsu. Taking Ankalaev down is going to be a big problem. Working your magic when you're on the ground, I think that'll be a little bit easier for him. So the question is going to become, if he does shoot, will it be successful? Because we know in this division, an unsuccessful shot can very easily lead to a TKO finish. And I think that that's how close this matchup is. So if I have to break it down, I'm just going to kind of let the cat out of the bag, man. This is my pick for this fight. Of course, I have to roll with the dark horse in Magomed Ankalaev. Like, I would look like a fool all these months talking about he's going to be the guy, he's going to be the guy. This is almost too perfect of a matchup here, AJ. You don't have to fight Yuri. You don't have to fight Glover Teixeira, who just choked out Jan Blachowicz. You get to fight the former champion, who, let's be completely honest, legendary Polish power fan favorite, was very much a journeyman before he captured UFC gold. I think this is a smash spot for Magomed Ankalaev. I think he gets the job done. Give me your thoughts, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still not entirely sure how he gets it done. But give me your thoughts.
Derek, I'm with you, brother. I'm rolling with Mother Russia right here. I think Dagestan is really taking over, and Ankalaev, like you said, Derek, when you fight him with that stay ready mentality, it's hard to deny him. And even though he is the dark horse of the division, I really do think this is a great shot for him against a perfectly not handpicked opponent, but as good as you can get for a short notice fight like this. I'm going Magomed Ankalaev, and I'm taking that TKO, and I'm also taking it. I'm gonna say round 3, Derek. I'm going early round 3. If I had to guess the over under, I'm saying 4 rounds. What is it?
4.5 rounds. You're taking the under, and believe it or not, brother, I mean, I don't think it's hard to believe, but you're actually taking the favorites in terms of the odds, man. Minus 165 for the under, plus 135 for the over. And as I started this segment off, I said it's really hard pressed for me to see this fight going 5 rounds, man. Really, really difficult to see that. I'm going to rock with the under as well. And I'm going to rock with the TKO for Magomed Ankalaev. And I do have a little bit of a hunch that it will come on one of those failed shot opportunities where a quick scramble happens and somebody gets put out of there. And we get, either way, it's a vacant championship. It will be and new on Saturday night. But the question is going to become, which one of these guys would be ready to face a Glover Teixeira on a full training camp, or a Yuri Prochazka when he comes back? We will see. But that is your main event, folks. I'm so hyped up. This is going to be such a good one right there. All right.